This is the second video that I'm doing on Voxtur Q3. If you didn't watch my first video, please watch the first video first. But I'm making the second one because I realized something that I missed in the first video. If you look at the balance sheet, under the current liabilities, you have something what's called unearned revenue. So unearned revenue is, for example, let's say you subscribe to Microcap Explosions and you pay me for the full year, okay? If I was a publicly traded company, I cannot, let's say you pay me $1,200, okay? So $100 per month, right? We have 12 months. So when you pay me the $1,200, and if I am a publicly traded company that has to report every month, I cannot recognize the $1,200 as revenue when you pay it to me. Even though you pay it to me and I can put it in my bank account, I can only recognize $100 every month as I earn it. So as I earn it, so let's say you pay me $1,200 at the beginning. In January, I can recognize 100 of it under revenue, and then the rest of it goes on the balance sheet under the liabilities section as unearned revenue. So I would recognize $100 the first month, and then my unearned revenue would be the difference. So it would be $1,100. And every month I would recognize $100, and the unearned revenue would be decreased, right? So that's what happens. And if you look at Voxtur's unearned revenue and you look at all the quarters from like, I just looked since like December 2021, right? All the quarters, you can see here that this is December 31st, 2021. This is June 2022. That unearned revenue is about 4 million something. So here it was 4.8 million. Here it was 4.4 million. And here in Q3, it jumped to 8.3 million. So in other words, they got, and what's the difference? What's the difference between 8.3 million? So we have 8,537 minus 4,415. Yeah, 4,415. That's $4.1 million of cash that they got from clients, the cash they received. But because the balance increased, for some reason, they were not able to recognize that $4 million as revenue. Because if they recognized, if this wasn't 8.5 here, if this was the same amount as 4.4, that means that 4.1 million would have been recognized as revenue and it would have been removed from unearned revenue. But in this case, for some reason, that amount increased, but it wasn't recognized. Okay? Now, if that amount was recognized, then instead of revenues for the quarter being about 35.5 million, it would have been 40 million. And the revenue from quarter to quarter would have been positive, okay? Because the revenue from prior quarter was 38, it would have been about 40 million, but also because all of these expenses would have already been covered, we could take, because the gross margin for the quarter was 38%, right? We could take that 4.1 times 0.38%, and then it would equate to 1.5, almost 1.6 million. It would flow straight to the bottom line, straight into adjusted EBITDA, and you know that without that revenue, adjusted EBITDA was negative 1.4. Now it would have been it would have been positive. So in other words, if this didn't happen and Voxtur would have been shown revenue growth for the quarter, and it would have shown EBITDA positive. That's pretty crazy insane. In this market, Voxtur almost delivered growth from quarter to quarter and positive EBITDA. I'm going to try to ask this question on a conference call. But I don't know about you. This makes me kind of happy. Am I missing something? But I wanted to make this video to share this with you. Unusually high unearned revenue. And I just find it interesting.